This year piloted by Ramon Dominguez, looks to sweep the last two festival races. Tries to add the Cornhusker to his previous win in the last race, the Iowa Derby. The defending champion moves in. We'll have the start from Tom Benjamin. They're all in the gate, ready for the Cornhusker. Off and running. Headache on the extreme outside, but now Shadow B dancing right there, joined quickly by Fort Larned. And now Fort Larned grabs the lead for Brian Hernandez and tries to slow him right down with a lap to go. Shadow Be Dancing going to sit second. Awesome Gem is third, as Successful Dan to the outside in fourth. Tap Town is next, and Headache is the early trailer. Into the first turn, 7/8 of a mile to go, and Fort Larned out on the lead. Slows him down to 24-2. No pace on up top, and strolls through the opening quarter, leads now by 3. Shadow Be Dancing going to sit second. Awesome Jim third. Successful Dan into fourth, about 5 lengths off the lead at this point. Tap Town second last, and the trailer is Headache. To the midway point of the backstretch run, it is still Fort Larned showing the way. The lead now is down to 2.5. Shadow Be Dancing edging closer from second. Awesome Gem, Successful Dan are right together now, third and fourth. Tap Town is next up, and the trailer is Headache. They've picked it up just a bit now as they move into that far turn, and the leader still is Fort Larned. Takes them to the 3/8 on top. Shadow Be Dancing in second. Now there goes Successful Dan into third. Awesome Gem is being pushed along by David Flores into fourth. Tap Town is next up, has about 7 lengths to make up, and Headache trails the Cornhusker field as they pass the quarter pole and come for home. Fort Larned takes them into the stretch drive on top. In second, Shadow Be Dancing. Successful Dan is third up, and Awesome Gem now swings to the center. Awesome Gem is beginning to roll. Fort Larned has the lead, has 1/8 of a mile to hold on, and now draws clear once again. Fort Larned on top. Successful Dan trying to close in second, but Fort Larned nursed around nicely by Brian Hernandez to win the Cornhusker. Beats out Successful Dan. Close for third. Awesome Gem or Shadow Be Dancing.
On the outside, let's send it back up to Tom for the call of this 85th Whitney Invitational.
They're in the gate. And they're off. An Endorsement is hustled out of there after that early lead, but Trickmeister is going to run with him as they hit the first turn in Fort Larned. Just outside the lead, he's third into the turn. Rule is fourth, Caixa Electronica fifth. Himbook not too far from the pace today, fifth and on the far outside. Flat outs between those two. And they are now followed by Hunter's Bay and 6 lengths back to Ron the Greek. Ron the Greek is allowed to drop a dozen lengths from the lead as they make their way to the backstretch after a 23-2 opening quarter mile. So it's Endorsement the leader. Right there in his hip pocket is Trickmeister. Fort Larned cruising not far behind them on the outside third. Himbook just 4 lengths from the lead down the backstretch run. To his inside now is Rule, then Caixa Electronica, who's under a good hold there by Javier Castellano. And then Hunter's Bay has room down toward the inside. Flat Out is allowed to relax beneath Rosie Napravnik there, and still trailing the field is Ron the Greek. He's about 11 lengths from the lead. Half up in 46 4/5 seconds. Strong pace here as the field rounds the far turn. Up top, Endorsement, Trickmeister, and Fort Larned. They've been 1, 2, 3 all the way around the track. A testing 3/4 mark in 1:10 4. Himbook's in an all-out drive, and from the back of the pack, Ron the Greek is picking off horses one by one. He's spun very wide, though, by Flat Out. Then Caixa Electronica down toward the rail. Fort Larned comes away with the lead with a bold run at the 3/16. It's Fort Larned in front by 5. Ron the Greek way out in the middle of the track. Himbook and Flat Out coming down to the finish with Fort Larned to catch. Fort Larned to catch, and they're not going to catch him. Fort Larned the winner by a diminishing length and a half. Ron the Greek photos for the runner-up spot with Flat Out. Himbook was fourth in the Whitney with a time of 1:47.3.
Second straight year, this horse comes off a win in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. Last year he was 5th in the Classic as a favorite. He's battled hoof problems his entire career. Number 3 Alpha, the 3-year-old colt who was 12. Number 4 is Fort Larned, named for the Western Kansas post that protected traders on the Santa Fe Trail in the 1860s. Winner of the Cornhusker at Prairie Meadows, then the Whitney at Saratoga, before running 3rd in the Jockey Club Gold Cup. 27th birthday for jockey Brian Hernandez. Game On Dude is the 5, beaten a length and a half by Drosselmeyer, last year's classic. He's won 4 of 6 in 2012. Rafael Bejarano replaces Chantel Sutherland, replaced him for the last race. Number 11, Mucho Macho Man, the huge horse trained by heart transplant recipient Kathy Ritvo, ridden by Mike Smith. Third in last year's Kentucky Derby. He's had success as a 4-year-old, winning the Gulfstream Park and Suburban Handicaps, then beaten the net.
Will complete this field of 12 in America's richest horse race. To Honor and Serve goes in. They're all in line. We are ready for the start. Standing well. They're off in the Breeders' Cup Classic. Not the best of starts for Game On Dude. In fact, he's just in mid-pack early. Alpha bounds out of there fast. Fort Larned on the outside is out with speed, and Game On Dude's going to have to settle behind them with Handsome Mike, Mucho Macho Man going up on the outside. Then To Honor and Serve and Nonios. Brilliant Speed is in behind them. Then flat out along the rail, Ron the Greek, Pool Play, and Richard's Kid is the trailer as the field makes their way toward that first turn. The opening quarter mile was in 23 1/5 seconds. Fort Larned is on the pace here. Mucho Macho Man is alongside in second. To Honor and Serve is third. Behind them comes Handsome Mike. Alpha has the rail, and Game On Dude, who we thought might be in front, is not. He is back there in sixth, and he's 4 lengths off the lead. Then Brilliant Speed. On the outside is Nonios. 2.5 more back to flat out. Ron the Greek, a late runner here, is 12 lengths off the lead, ahead of Pool Play and the laid back Richard's Kid. 46 2 for a half mile. A sensible pace. They're not flying, but they're moving right along. Fort Larned continues to lead the way, and now he's by himself. He's got a 2-length advantage on Mucho Macho Man as the field heads for the far turn. They went 3/4 in 1:10 flat, so the pace continues to be solid. And Game On Dude begins to move now on the outside. He's third, and he's 3 lengths off the lead with Fort Larned and Mucho Macho Man to catch. Handsome Mike has come under a ride, and then comes Nonios. Flat Out is in the midst of his rally. He's 8 lengths off the lead as they come to the top of the stretch. It is Fort Larned and Mucho Macho Man, and they are now well clear of their competition. Fort Larned comes into the stretch in front. Mucho Macho Man runs at him with 1 furlong to run. They've left Flat Out behind. Fort Larned digs in. Mucho Macho Man runs at him. Fort Larned, Mucho Macho Man. Fort Larned with the heart of a champion. Mucho Macho Man was second, a very gallant second indeed. Then came Flat Out, followed by Ron the Greek.
What about that?
Meantime, Mucho Macho Man had come up in striking distance, and I thought that he was actually going to run by Fort Larned. Well, that wasn't to be done today. Ian Wilkes had him ready, prepared today. Mucho Macho Man was prepared, and they just draw away from the field here, Randy.
And you know, Brian Hernandez mentioned loyalty. If you asked horse racing fans, dedicated horse racing fans, name the top 30 jockeys in America, you wouldn't get a Brian Hernandez Jr. vote from any of them.
Well,
but yet, when he lost his last race, whereas a lot of trainers would have replaced the jockey with a big-name rider for the Breeders' Cup Classic, Ian Wilkes showed loyalty to his man, and it paid off.
And this kid, he can ride. I've watched him, and he's one of the most underrated riders in the United States. He can get the job done, doesn't get a lot of opportunities in big races, but he got the chance of a lifetime today.
Year-old colt by E. Dubai, bred and owned by Janice R. Whittam. She bred him in Kentucky. She owns him. She collects the winner's share of the $5 million purse. Thanks.
They're in the gate. And they're off in the Stephen Foster Handicap. To the outside, Take Charge Indy tries to take control, but Fort Larned flashes his usual early speed, and Fort Larned and Brian Hernandez will win the battle to the first turn. Take Charge Indy now giving chase in second. Successful Dan, content now to race in third. A break now with 3 lengths opening up to Golden Ticket. And then the late running, Ron the Greek and Pool Play, a well-strung out field, 23 3, the legitimate first quarter for Fort Larned in the 32nd running of the Stephen Foster Handicap. Fort Larned has the lead by 2. Take Charge Indy, a clear second. A further 2 lengths back to Successful Dan, just lobbing along on a long rein for Leperoux back in third. A break now of 5 lengths opening up to Ron the Greek on the outside of Golden Ticket, and a long last is Pool Play. 46 and 4 for the half. A half mile to go in the Stephen Foster Handicap, and it is Fort Larned now by 2.5 lengths to Take Charge Indy in second. Successful Dan now given the hurry up in third. Trying to close in fourth is Golden Ticket, then Ron the Greek, and still a long last is Pool Play. He's 20 lengths off the leader, who is Fort Larned, with a 1/4 mile to go in the Stephen Foster Handicap. Fort Larned out in front. The lead extends to 5 lengths now. Down the outside, Golden Ticket takes second. Successful Dan trying to stay on. Run the Greek to the inside, but it is all Fort Larned. He went clear at the start. He was clear down the back, and he's coming home, turning handsprings. Fort Larned, brilliant in the Stephen Foster. Golden Ticket was second. Run the Greek third, and Successful Dan